Can you hear me now? I heard it. Hey, why are you so salty? And Clay Miko. It was a setting on my end, and I don't know why that got disabled. No idea. I didn't change anything with it. It just. No, I'm not testing anything, Clay Miko. We're streaming. It is Temperature Blanket. We haven't done Temperature Blanket in weeks. Got 3 weeks worth. We're not all going to get it done tonight. Maybe. Yeah, the gong worked. Did you guys hear the gong? I heard it. Did you hear the gong? Um. Hold on a second. Why is that not working? I think it's this. It's not going to let me type in the gong one again. I'm going to type in another one. Tell me if you hear this. Yeah, you didn't hear that. Oh, great. Okay. It's not that big of a deal. We won't have um sound commands for this stream. I mean, let me check something else. Wait. Speakers. That. Let's do this. Okay, I'm going to do another sound command. Let me know if you hear it. Okay. Okay. I don't know what's wrong with my audio settings. Anyway, figure that out. Okay. We're streaming now. This is not a test. Well, that was a test, but the stream is not. The purpose was not a test. I had updated in the Discord a under useful things. I added to the chat commands, so we have all the same audio chat commands, but I added 3 extra commands. And if you want to test them out now, you can. They're exclamation point lurk. And if you test it, you're not going to lurk. That's fine. You can do that if you want to test it. There's exclamation point YouTube and exclamation point Discord. So lurk, if you're going to end up lurking, just going to hang out, not really interact. And then the other 2 are the Discord and the YouTube. So now, yeah, the YouTube and the Discord will still come up periodically throughout the stream. But if somebody is coming in and they want the Discord or the YouTube, all they got to do is type that command, or anybody can type the command, and it will give the link. So they don't have to wait until it shows up periodically. So I figured out how to do that. That was actually pretty easy. I still haven't. delved real into how to play music on my stream, where it's copyright free and it's Twitch appropriate music, so it's actually from Twitch. But there's a way that I have to set it up on my end so it won't be in the VODs or any of the YouTube uploads, so I don't get strike there. I'm still trying to figure that out. Anyway, and yes, I cut my hair and I shaved. You're being, yes. No, it's not a lucky Lou, it's a lurky Lou. Because they're lurking. Okay, so I've changed my light. It used to be right up above my top-down camera. It's now to the side, mainly because, and I'll do a little test here, I was working on the sock. And when I was doing it on stream last night, I was having a difficult time finding the stitches because it's so tiny. But my overhead lamp that I usually use here for stream has a magnifying glass on it. And I brought it down, repositioned it, and I was doing it here off stream. And I'm like, oh, I can see all the stitches. Like, I don't know if anybody had saw it. I posted it on the Discord. I'm going to switch my little thing here. I've done the toe and the foot. I'm ready to do the heel. So I've done all of that. And I started this, Friday? So I've got a good portion of the sock done. So with the magnifying glass, it's a gooseneck thing. It's got the magnifying glass and the light. And I was using it mainly for the light for the stream. Let me move the blanket out of the way. So trying to do this, trying to find the stitches, it was not working. It was working, but it was very slow. But I found out that I can use the magnifying glass, and if I have it here in position, I can't see the chat, so anything that you text. But maybe when I go to do this, we're not doing this on stream here tonight, you'd be able to see some of these really fine stitches, and I might have to reconfigure the screen on my computer here of where I have things. This might help, and I might even test it out tonight. Come in handy for teaching, for people who don't know where to put the hook. So I think, yeah. this is totally separate from my camera, and I didn't know if it would work, and apparently it works. But now we got this creepy Halloween glow on me. What is the Nosferatu? That vampire spooky, yeah. So I'm all ready for Halloween. So that is that. You know what? Actually, I don't have to change anything. The only thing I have to change is, this is a little bit behind the scenes. This is like Wizard of Oz, the man behind the curtain. So the way I have it set up, I have 3 monitors. On my one monitor, I've got my software I use to stream, and that's got the different little transitions and the names of the things. And so like when transitions between this to the temperature blanket, and then to this, all of that good stuff. So that's my software. But then I've got this other thing from Twitch behind the scenes. That's usually where I see the chat. Well, that's on the other side of this magnifying glass now. It's blocking my view. But on my other screen, I've got a web page up of my Twitch. So I'm seeing myself multiple times, but I can check the chat on that screen. So I don't really have to move anything. I just got to turn my head to read the chat. Anyway, not that you all need to know that. And this also will go, oh my goodness, you can really see. Did you ever wanted to really inspect the fiber structure of yarn? I gotta move that little label. Um, and this is like the lowest zoom on my camera. So let's see what happens if we zoom. Oh, we're zooming in. Oh, so you want some up close crochet? You might be able to see the actual color. See, like that was the green I was using before. Wait, I got to get it in frame. So there was the green I was using before. That's the green I'm using to now. Yeah, bro has a whole Microsoft. Yes, this is like a science dork. I really have to move. I'm gonna do it now. So I'm gonna move this little sticker. There's probably gonna be residue on it. So oh, I probably made it worse. It's just a little sticker. What does it say? Keep magnifier away from direct sunlight. We're not in use. Oh well, yeah. I don't want to burn a hole through something. Um. Okay. Um. I could get my Windex out. Okay, we're gonna ignore that. Ignore the little sticker thing. But we're gonna see how this works. If this gets annoying, then let me know. And now I have to keep it like in frame. Like I can't even move over a couple inches. No, I'm not gonna start a fire. Okay. I don't even think you can see. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I'm a dork too. If this is annoying, if it starts bugging you, make sure you move it. Don't worry about it. And it's not bugging me. If it's really annoying and like jarring for you, let me know. I just got to keep moving this over. Okay. It's it's annoying me. Well, we'll use the light, not the magnifying glass. Oh, wow. Okay. But I've got the shadow now because the light is literally right here at my forehead. But you don't need to pay attention to all of this. You need to pay attention to this. Or I would like you to pay attention to that. So, how is everybody? That was funny. Even with the extra shadow, it gives you the facade of hair for uh, the shadow blocks the glare off of my head. Oh, ha ha ha. Very funny. Actually, you know what? We can solve this problem. There. We solved that problem. No glare. Okay, I'll move it back. That, or this is what I can do. Oh, that's not what I gotta do. Oh, that's not it. Where's the thing? Um, what? Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Oh, that's not what I want. Why is that going down to the bottom? That is what we're gonna do. We'll do that. I'll be behind everything. Having too much fun. Oh, oh, no, no, no. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, now I really did it. There. No, they're not bullying me. And the one who mentioned the shadow blocking the glare, I know her probably the best out of anybody in my stream, so she wasn't bullying. So, what is everybody working on? If you're working on, no, I'm having iced tea, regular iced tea. So the stream is now reduced to playing peekaboo. Yes, whatever gets the views. Whatever gets the views. I poked the OBS bear too much. It said it'll take the guide. Yes. OBS, for those of you who don't know, that is the program that I am using um, to do all these transitions, and where it says temperature blanket, and where I can move everything, move me around, and move this around, and all of it's the software, and it's everything that it has to go through that, and then it goes to Twitch. But yeah, I don't know why it wasn't doing the sound chat commands, but I'm glad we got that figured out, because it was doing them, but it wasn't picking up the audio. It wasn't picking up my audio, and then it wasn't picking up the chat thingies. Oh, you scare me. I thought that was Seagam. Because that's Seagam's entrance noise. But I decided to do a different green than I have been, because I was tired of that pale green, and I was tired of it being a slightly thinner size 4 yarn. So I went with this darker green, which is the same size as the yellow and the orange. And I needed a little variation from the other green. And let me find my calendar. This is the first of 5 rows of green, because I'm working still on the last full week of April, believe it or not. And that week was mostly in the 60s. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit of a longer stream. I'm probably going to go until about 10 o'clock, my normal ending time. So, in about 2.5 hours, we will see how far we get on this blanket. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get totally caught up. Yep, the moss, the linen stitch, or here in the Crafty Cub stream, we refer to this as the zipper stitch, because the rows look like they're interlocking teeth of a zipper. And I started this at the beginning of January, and making progress as we go. It's going to be a all-year project. I got the idea, not the idea of doing a temperature blanket from the Secret Yarnery on YouTube, but she's doing one also in the same pattern. Her color range is different, but she's using, again, the same pattern, and she's doing it all year. And this stitch works because the rows interlock with each other, because if they didn't, then I'd have a really, really long blanket at the end of the year, and I don't want one tall enough for a giant. So I did the math. I did a gauge swatch, did the math and everything, and this will work out. I don't remember exactly how long it's going to be. Actually, oh, finished size. It's going to be roughly 80 inches across, 120 tall. This is for about a king size bed, maybe a little bit smaller, roughly. It's around that. It doesn't have to be exact because it's a blanket. And luckily, the temperature here, the actual temperature, isn't too warm. And I got some fans going on me that I'm okay with doing this. I haven't turned the AC on yet. It's too early for me to turn the AC on, even though it is getting closer to that time of year. Need options. I'm flying tomorrow. What suggestions do you have for flights? Wait, what do you mean? Like airlines? Like that should have been booked already. I am not the person to ask. Clay Miko, you know me. Yeah, I'm not the person to ask. I've only ever been on one trip, and that had two flights. We had a layover. I don't. Well, hold on to that because in a minute or so, we are going to have an ad break. So it's already been a half hour. Well, most of it was taken up with technical issues, but we've solved that. This goes out to the group. Ideas for projects to do with or take on the plane. Ah. Um. Are you able to take a crochet hook? Because I know the guidelines and everything could be different, and I know TSA has a thing, but then certain airlines have different other regulations and rules. Flap your wings real hard when you get there. Crochet it to get by, and some scissors can. My yarn for my commission arrived today. Let's say the color of the actual yarn did not translate well into Amazon's picture. Ooh, I hate that. That's the problem with buying yarn online. It's Amazon's picture and it's also how your monitor displays colors. The ad is going to start in any second now. All right. I think we're back, even though it says we're not. Okay, I think we're back from the ad. So, why are you so salty? Says crochet hooks are get by and some scissors. You're taking cross stitch for a lot of plane rides and stuff like that. Little tote bags are nice. Buying online is a toss up between brightness and Photoshop deciding you did everything. Same deal with buying glazes online. It's so sad. Yeah. Ordered more yarn to finish 3/4 of the way of a finished project. Thank you, Red Heart. You totally screwed it up, even though it's the same color, name, and you claim no dye lots are necessary to your precise formulas. Yeah, that sucks. Um, Claymika, what I would suggest, obviously you don't want a big project, and you're not going to be in the flight in the air that long to really do a big project. Um, I would suggest taking one skein of yarn, and I know you have it, and one hook, and I know you have this skein because I saw you use it. Um, make a bunch of granny squares for the granny square crochet bee project donation charity thing that we're doing. That way, you can work. They work up kind of quick, and you don't got to worry about bringing a lot of stuff. If this is too much brightness, I might have to move my lamp. And I know a lot of people who travel and they want to bring their crochet and they're concerned about scissors. I know it's under a certain amount of inches long, the blade or whatever is acceptable. I've heard people putting a um, pair of nail clippers in their crochet bag because you're only going to be using it to snip your tails or whatever. You're not going to be using it that often. That would be my suggestion. So, what is everyone else working on? Picking a design for a commission piece. Oh, nice. Is it crochet, knit? I know you said you also do ceramics, but I don't know if that's anything that you do on commission. Gonna do knit for this one. I don't do ceramic commissions because it's very complicated. Oh, I can believe that it would be complicated. This is so odd doing this stitch and this yarn because the past 2 nights I've been using that fingering weight merino wool for that sock, and it's just it's odd going back to the worsted weight with a bigger hook. I was trying to explain to my sister and her friend that there are ways you can mess up a piece at every step of creating pottery. The kiln gods are not kind to commission pieces. Oh, I'm certain. And that's just not an easy fix. We just frog it out and start over. Again, I've only ever done ceramics in high school for a semester. That's another 2 weeks worth of redo. Oh, I bet. At least with this pattern here that I'm doing, I'm not really worried about counting stitches. As with the sock, I was counting like every second row just to make certain I had the right amount. Oh, I'm not even on camera. You gotta let me know I was off cam. Keep me on my toes. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Make sure I'm going. Yeah, I'm going in the right spot. That's 2 rows done. I gotta mark them off as I go because I will get confused. Let me do this real quick. I gotta change something in here now. Save my progress. There we go. Okay. I need to flip the blanket. I need to move this to my side to hold up the weight of the blanket. There. Might be a little bit better. Yeah, it's not as much glare in my eyes. Okay. Heard something out the window. I think it was a bird or something. Don't click any of the keys and mess up my stream. The other day I was in someone's stream and I don't remember who it was, but they were crocheting and I had never seen this before. They had their crochet hook in their right hand. Their left hand was holding their work tight, and they were doing their yarn over with the same hand their hook was in. I'm like, how do you do that? I want to say it was Drooby Zoo that was doing it. I could be wrong. Yeah, I'm like, I no, I'm not that dexterous that I can hold the hook and the tensioning, the yarn, the working yarn in the same hand. I told Mud's yarn I'd make a video on how I knit because I knit in a way that was more comfortable for crocheters. Oh, I couldn't tell you how I knit because it's very rare that I ever knit. I've never made a knit project. I've only done a couple rows, and for some reason it's just I can't get a feel for it. But at some point I would like to go back to it and try doing it again. I got a bunch of sets of knitting needles. A lot of knitters on YouTube started to crochet later, but it's not often people do the other way around in YouTube. So I mentioned that I altered how I hold my yarn because of injury plus adding in crochet. Gotcha. I've done that, done just a basic cast on. That's as far as I've gone with knitting. Yeah, I know how to do a basic cast on, and I can knit and I can purl. That's it. And it takes me forever. But again, that is because I am a novice knitter. I don't have enough practice to really. Not that it's speed is a thing, but literally it'll take me. Basically, as long as it's taking me to do a row here, if this is like 400 stitches, it would take me that time to do like 10 stitches. And I just need more practice. I'm great with my circular knitting machines. And my handheld knitting looms. I'm great with those. Yeah, you're right. No muscle memory yet. The other week, um, when I was showing how to do the chain stitch, my friend was in here and he's learning how to crochet. I think he's done the chain stitch. He knows how to do the chain stitch. And I think he attempted to do the single and he just couldn't get where to put the hook. I'm going to end up giving him a one-on-one lesson at some point. After I was done the chain, I was doing whatever it was. And I was crocheting as quickly as I crochet. And he was like, wow, you crochet like a speed demon. It's just comes with practice. And that's not the goal. The goal is not to be fast. It's just I know where the stitches are. For the most part, I know where the stitches are. And I know how to complete the stitch. I want to check one more thing. If somebody could let me know, my mom kept telling me that I need to learn to move faster. I would just reply with, I'd rather have good looking pieces than a quickly made slap one. Exactly. Yeah, speed comes with time, and it's not a race. It's a hobby, it's a pastime, it's to help you relax and to create something. It's not production, it's not like mass producing, like you gotta get it out. If somebody could tell me if they hear the notification when I click this test, I'm going to test a follow notification.
Thanks for the follow.
Just want to make certain that that's working. Thanks to Race with her dead aunts who could knit and crochet. Wow. Oh, you heard that? Okay, thank you. I just want to make certain that that worked. Because sometimes that's a different application that handles any of the follows and the subs and the bits and the raids and all of that. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So later this month, he's here. Hey, Seagam. Earlier, Klimiko did your dun dun dun, and I thought it was you, and I was like, you're confusing me. How are you? That's cool. So yeah, later this month, we're still doing the basic stitches. This week, we're going to get to more interesting, complicated, basic stitches. Yeah, you always have to make an entrance. And then next week, we're going to do some more elaborate basic stitches. Yeah, I shaved my face and my head. It was getting way too long and getting warm. And so after we do the rest of the month of our basic stitches, the very last, well, not the last two streams, but the last two streams, excluding temperature blanket, we're going to learn how to read a written pattern and how to read a chart. All those lemon Oreos you eat. I don't eat that many lemon Oreos. And that wasn't making my hair grow. Okay. If that's the case, I need to eat a whole lot more so it can grow on the top of my head. Seagam's a little strange. And we're gonna have an ad coming up again. Okay, that was row 3. Let me make my little mark on my little calendar. I've got a little temperature blanket tracking calendar. Lemon Otis, incredible. Yeah, we got some lemon Oreos the other day, and I took a picture of it and sent it to him because I know he likes lemon Oreos. I'm the one who told him about them. I love lemon Oreos. Got an ad just at the bottom of the screen this time. No 7 videos. Oh, that's weird. Hasn't even on my end. It says it isn't even started yet. Well, when it starts on my end, we'll do our little ad break, and I'll still be crocheting along. It's not like you're going to be missing anything with what I'm doing. It's still the same green color. I will be back. Or wait a minute. And we're back. Thank you, everybody, for sitting through those ads. I know it's an inconvenience, or even if you are a sub, sitting through that message that says we'll be right back. I didn't want anybody to miss out on anything, any conversation or whatever during the ad break. And again, thank you for watching them because or sticking around, because it helps my channel when the ads run. Yeah, and I know it can be annoying. Oh, I gotta show everybody the really good yarn deal I got at Michael's the other last week. Let me actually, when I get to the end of this row, I'll do it. I want a decent stopping place. If I forget, if somebody can remind me to show the yarn haul. It's a small yarn haul. Michael's is learning that we are all looking to get our own wool yarn, and they started running sales. Yep. I think they run sales all the time. Like when I went Thursday, apparently they had a sale the week before, because when I went Thursday, everything was picked over. Like things were empty, and I went to a bigger store, a store that has a little bit more selection. Actually, it's a store I used to work at. I didn't work in the yarn department, but I got a lot of discounted yarn there when I worked there. But I guess they hadn't restocked. Yeah. Michael's is a dangerous place for me. When I worked there, a lot of my paycheck went right back to him. I can spend hours in that store. Not just the yarn department, like a lot of the other departments. Okay, I'm getting tired of this green, but after this row, I have one more row of green, then we go to blue, then back to green. but it will change to yellows and oranges because it did warm up a little bit, but that 1 week, it was pretty much the 60s the entire week. At least it's not purple or white. I'm going to need a little bit of break from this. My hands are getting a little tired, so that'll be the perfect time to get out the yarn haul. It's still in the bag it came in. I noticed at Michael's also, they have, not that I was ever looking for it or shopping for it, but I noticed that they had, at least this store, had expanded or increased their selection of colors of crochet thread. And like the sizes too. Wow. Not that I need any. I've got a bunch, and that I would definitely have to get the magnifying glass out. If I need a magnifying glass for a size 1 fingering weight, then I know I didn't need it for crochet thread. What store did you go to? Because I've noticed anywhere that's got a... Because I've not noticed anywhere that's got a good selection. I went to the Glen Burnie store on where Mountain Road and Ritchie Highway meet, across from the Marley Station Mall, because I'm down here in Anne Arundel County. Okay, that's 4. Normally we go to Annapolis. Annapolis is fine, but the Glen Burnie store has a little bit bigger selection. It's a bigger store. Okay, that's 4. All right. So we're going to take a little break from that. Like in the Glen Burnie store, like in the back wall next to the framing department, it's this whole, I don't know if it was a standalone display or if it was shelves built into the actual aisle, but they had to have, and the shelves were kind of narrow. So it was probably about 2.5, 3 feet wide. And I think each shelf had 4 or 5 spots for them. And I think there were 7 or 8, maybe 9 shelves. And I think each little slot could hold like 3 or 4 balls of crochet thread. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So, I don't know if Joann's has like a rewards coupon. I know they take coupons, but I don't know if they have like a rewards program. Like you spend X amount and you get it. It'll transfer into X amount of rewards, which means it's money off. And Michael's has a rewards program and it's free to join. I ended up getting, first of all, the yarn was not on sale, so everything was regular price. But I had a 25% off all regular price item coupon. So anything not regular price was 25% off. Plus, I had 2 $10 reward voucher type things. So I had $20 in rewards. So I ended up getting 4 skeins of the facet yarn, the roving style yarn, the one I made the shawls out of. Actually, the first shawl was Red Heart Unforgettable, but the second one was in facets. And I wanted the colorway electric. Actually, let me pull it up real quick. Let's see if I can find a picture of... that's not what I want. Facets by Loops and Threads. I'm going to pull it up on Michael's site real quick. Is that electric? That's electric. And let me... That is the colorway I wanted. Okay? It's with like jewel tones. The greens and the purples and the reds and just like electric. Well, it was all picked over and they didn't have any of the electric. And everything they had only had 1 or 2 skeins, and there were, except for like some of the neutrals, like the... So let me move this over here. The Storm, the Toffee, and I think the Silver. They had a whole bunch of them, which those are fine, but I wanted something a little more color. So the only one I could find was the Lapis. They had like 6 of them. So I got 4 of them. I don't have anything planned for it. I was with Clay Miko, and she was like, what do you need it for? I said, I don't need a project to buy yarn. Me and her have different approaches when it comes to yarn. She's more of, I have a project to do. I need to get the yarn for that project. And then we're done with that yarn after the project is done. And there's a video, I'll have to link it in the Discord. It's by La Petite Saint Crochet. And it's basically trying how to organize your yarns by, apparently there are yarn personality types. Well, there's like 5 of them. Well, we have decided that she is a minimalist, where she gets the yarn for that project. When the project is done, she doesn't need the yarn anymore. She ends up giving the yarn to me, usually. It's a win for me, because I'm an eclectic. I will get yarn, the yarn will speak to me, and I don't have a use for it. I might have plans in the future to find a use for it. If not, then I don't. So, and I pretty much any type of yarn I'll take. There's very little that I don't like. Okay. So I ended up getting 4 of these. That's all I got in the haul, was just these 4. But let me tell you the deal I got. So again, I had the 25% off coupon. So these are 5. Yeah, that's me. But I also need to find uses for the yarn because I am traumatized. I'm sorry. Don't be traumatized. So each of these regular price. Oh, no. Oh, there's a sale. I just saw a sale on Michael's website. It's buy one, get one half off. But last week they weren't. So last week they were regular price. So each of these were $5.99. So I got the 25% off coupon. So that knocked off a bunch. And then I had the 2 $10 rewards coupons. So my total before the rewards coupon, so just with the 25% off, came to like $17, almost $18. And I used the 2 $10 rewards coupons. And the good thing is, if you don't use all of your coupon, the balance carries over. So I've got like $2 and change. So I got all of this for free. I'm like, that works for me. And I love this yarn. As you guys know, if you were watching all my streams in the past couple months, I love a roving type yarn. I don't know what I'm going to use it for. They had another one. It was like a purplish color. I think it was purple. Yeah. it was this. That was a little too smoky gray for me. It was pretty, but I like the lapis a lot better. So I ended up getting, before everything, they would have been, before tax, it would have been about $24 worth of yarn for nothing. Wasn't a big haul, but it's a good deal nonetheless. Okay. Back to our project. But yeah, apparently they've got some yarn that's buy one get one half off this week. I need to turn that website off because I don't need any. So I'm on my 5th row of this green. And then we will switch colors at the end of this row. Now I need to reorganize my yarn, not by my personality type or whatever. I've got it separated into weights pretty much, and most of my stuff is either acrylic or polyester and nylon. It's a lot of man-made fibers. I have very little wool. There might be some wool blends, but most of it's separated by weight, and then by color. Majority of this is size 4 worsted. I've got some 5s, maybe some 6s. That's all in one tub. And then sitting next to me, it's actually a brand new plastic kitchen trash can. And that's most of, well, the bottom's got some bulkies, some like 5s and 6s. But then there's some novelty yarns, like eyelash yarns. And then I've got a small little tray to my right that's got DK weight yarn. I don't have a lot of that. I need to go and reorganize. I'm still going to keep it by size, but like within my worsted weight, I've got ones that they're worsted weight, but they're slightly textured. They wouldn't be a novelty yarn. They wouldn't be like an eyelash yarn or and I can never pronounce it, blue clay yarn. It's not like those that are really textured, but some that have kind of like this yarn. This is, I think, is a size 3, but it's got a texture to it. So I want to separate those out, and I want to move I have some cotton that's with my size 4, which is a size 4 cotton, but I want to separate it from any of my acrylics. But that's a job. Oh, and then I've got another of these kitchen trash cans behind me that is full of t-shirt yarn that I made, which I need to show how to do that on stream one time and how to work with it. And then I got some odds and ends here and there, and a little bit of wool besides my fingering weight yarn. I've got some worsted weight wool. Got like a handful of skeins of that. Yeah, I'm thinking possibly in July of doing some non-traditional crochet projects or crochet techniques, like t-shirt yarn and some beaded crochet and a couple other ones I'm going to have to come up with. Something fun to mix it up. I'm getting tired of seeing green. It's a pretty green, but I'm tired of it. It's getting a little warm under this blanket. At least it's not resting on my lap. I would not be happy. It's mostly sitting on the desk. I think what's going to happen when I do the next ad break, which will come up in a minute or two, a few minutes, I'll switch over to the screen for the ad break. And then while I'm doing that, I'm going to go down and get something to drink. So it might be a little bit longer ad break than an actual ad. Seeing how I'm going to be streaming a little bit longer tonight. Hook just wanted to slide right out of that loop. And welcome back, everybody. I thought it was going to take me longer to go get something to drink, but was able to get it during that ad break. And again, I thank everybody for sitting through the ads. If you are not subbed, I still thank you. Alrighty, we're gonna end this. Gotta go through the stitch. Come on. There we go. And now we get to change colors to our blue. I'm gonna trim my green. By the way, we're gonna need it here in a second after this blue row, but at least we can change it up with some different color. Find the stitch. I need my yarn ball for this because that's in a ball and not in a cake. And it's probably not going to show up that well because it's a dark blue yarn and it's a little bit of a darker green here, but it is what it is. Thinking I'm going to get to the end of this row with this blue, and then I'm going to switch over to the sock because my arm resting on this blanket, my arm is very warm. Being how it's not real chilly here right now. I'm a naturally warm person anyway. I'm never cold. Unless it's the middle of winter and temperatures are like in the teens, which doesn't mean I'm not going to use this blanket. I will use this blanket in the winter. Obviously, I'm not going to use this in the summer because it's a little too heavy for a summer blanket for me. But it will get use. I've got a quilt that Grammy actually made me. And, hey there, Crojo. Got a quilt that Grammy made me. It's really colorful. It's got pretty much every color in it, except there's not any reds or orange. And I think, and it's a geometric, it's not a stripe. It's hard to explain. I'll have to find a picture of it. And I'll have to find a picture and post it onto the Discord. I think this would be a good companion piece for it because it's all bright and colorful, and so I can alternate between this and the quilt. Or when there's really, really cold days, use both. It's a thinner quilt. It's not a heavy, lofty quilt. So I could possibly use both when it got really cold. You haven't missed much, Crojo. I've just been working on my temperature blanket, which I hadn't picked up in weeks. And I showed my yarn haul. I got 4 skeins of that Facets roving style yarn at Michael's last week, and I got a 25% off regular priced item coupon, so that took 25% off of everything, and I had $20 in rewards box, so I got it for free. I haven't done mine since March 14th, currently going back to write down the past few months' temperatures. That's fine. That's the beauty about temperature blankets. You could put it away for months and then come back to it. And that's fine, Cgam. I do have a lurk command now. You weren't here when I was talking about it. They are in the updated commands are in the Discord. So it's just exclamation lurk if you're going to lurk. You don't have to use it if you don't want to. Exclamation YouTube for the YouTube link, and exclamation Discord for the Discord link. They don't do sounds. Because I've noticed I've gone into other people's streams and they have it, and other people have come from other people's streams and they've tried to put through those commands, and I didn't have them set up. So I guess I'm now a real Twitch streamer because I have those 3 commands set up. And I just thought it would be kind of cute for the lurk. It would say that somebody's being a lurky Lou. So no fun little sounds or image. I got to figure out how to do a command that will play an image or a GIF. I have to look more into that. But yeah, I'm going to finish this row of blue, put this to the side. I don't know if I'm going to pick this up again tonight on stream, because again, I'm getting very warm. My arms mainly. And then I will switch over to the sock. Now that's going to mean I'm going to have to bring the magnifying glass down. So, Lady will be excited. It'll be science time. I mainly have to do it so I can see what's going on, because if not, just the reading glasses alone ain't gonna cut it. I'll have to play around with the zoom and the everything. And I gotta pull up the pattern for it. I don't have the pattern up right now. Find the right stitch. And when I do the sock, I can show you, hopefully up close, the herringbone half double crochet. Actually, no, I can't, because I'm going to be doing the heel, and the heel doesn't have the herringbone half double crochet. Anyway, that'll have to wait till I go back to the rest of the to the point of the sock where I do the leg or the ankle or whatever they're calling it. Okay, well, let's stop there. That will be it for the temperature blanket for now. Very warm, very, very warm. Let me move that. You. This. Excuse me. I've got to pull up my pattern first. Move that there. And I got to scroll down on the page. It's actually a website I'm on for the pattern. Here we go. Don't need the bowl because this is a cake, so I can just sit the way it's supposed to. Let me. Alrighty. I still have to use the smaller hook. We are going. Oh, wait. I can't do that. I gotta zoom that. And I'm going to try. Ignore my nasty fingernails. They're clean, they're just cut really short. I don't have a manicure, so you have to ignore that. If that grosses you out, let me know. I gotta. That's why I gotta switch these so I can see the chat. Oh, everything just. Hold on. I clicked a button, and now I can't see anything. All of my okay. All of my windows. Oh, and that's down too. Where is my? All of my windows went away. Herringbone half double until you get to the back. Oh, I do. I will show some herringbone half double. The back side of the sock. Go back to the side of the sock directly above the first stitch from round 13. So that's the edge here. And I counted. I should have 12. Okay. Do this. I'm actually having to look at the computer screen because I can't look at the lamp. Okay, I'm going to do 12 of these. And what we're going to end up doing, I'm just going to show you the herringbone half double. So we've wrapped our hook. We're going to go into the next stitch, pull up a strand for a half double. And then that very first loop is we're going to pull that loop through this loop. We're not going to yarn over. The loop we pulled up through the stitch, that loop is going to go through the next loop, like so, yarn over, and then pull through 2. So that's the herringbone half double. And I need to do 12 of those. That's 1, 2. Actually, I can see this today. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and that's 12. Okay. Just look here. I'm just checking my pattern. Okay. I'm going to mark. I'm not going to mark that. I need to switch back to the size 4mm hook and single crochet at only 25 stitches. Bigger hook. Originally, what I was doing that stitch on was a 3.225, so a small hook. I've gone up to a 4, and this is just a single crochet. 1, 2. I'm going to mark my first stitch, and I got to do total 25. That was 2, 3, 4. Hopefully you can see this. 5. Is that 5? 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8. Come on, do 9. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 3, 24, and that's 25. I need to get out more of my stitch markers because every row I got to place a stitch marker and leave the stitch marker in. And I am going to be using my paper clips because they are more durable than a plastic stitch marker. Bunch of them out. Hey there, Hedda. I could finally join. I've been so tired. Just been sleeping all day, every day. I'm sorry. I know you had said that you wanted to learn to crochet. And I don't know if you were able to watch any of my previous streams on the YouTube channel. If you haven't, and you wanted to, you did a chain stitch. Okay. How comfortable are you with the chain stitch? Are your chains somewhat even and consistent? Okay. What I would suggest is to rip it all out and start over and just chain 20, 30, 40 of them. And then if they're still not consistent, rip it out and start over. Just keep going until they can be somewhat consistent. That's good practice. Yeah, that's normal when you first learn. Yeah, when you first learn, it's normal to have some tight and some loose because your tension, you haven't learned your tension yet. That will come in time. More practice, your hands are automatically going to find the right tension. So that's what I would suggest. And you can always go back once you get that done, once you get your somewhat consistent. They don't have to be perfect, but as long as they're close to being the same, the length and same tightness, then either watch the next video on the YouTube channel. It's the one with the you don't have to do the slip stitch, the single crochet, the single crochet stitch. Or if you want to sometime here in stream, and even if I'm teaching something else and you're here and you need some help and some guidance, just speak up and say, hey, can you help me with the with whatever stitch? I would suggest starting with the single crochet when you are to that point, and I can always stop what I'm doing, or at the end of whatever I'm showing. Yeah, you can eat. Yeah, again, in any stream, I can always set aside once I'm done teaching a specific stitch or specific thing. Then afterwards, I can always switch over and show how to do whatever questions you may have. You can do it right here on the stream. In about a few minutes or so, probably less than a minute, I'm going to be having an ad break. And the ad break's only going to be about I think, a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Actually, no. around 2 minutes. So we will stop for that, and then we will resume after the ad break. Okay, I got to turn. And I got to do this one stitch. One and two. Got to put a stitch marker in here to mark where it starts. Doesn't want to go in. There we go. Okay. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, Welcome back, everybody. Again, thank you for watching the ad. It helps my channel a lot too. Got to put a stitch marker in, and I will explain what I'm doing. for those of you who are recently joining. I will show you without the magnifying glass. I am working on a sock. So I started it the other day. And what I'm doing now, I need the magnifying glass because it's a very thin yarn. It's a size 1 fingering weight yarn. I'm using, at this point, I'm using a 4mm hook. Majority of it, I was using a 3¼ we can't even see it, 3¼ millimeter hook. And I need the magnifying glass so I can see the stitches. Three. And I got to count. 4, 5, 9, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, and that doesn't fall out. So what I'm working on now is I'm doing the heel. So I got to build the heel up. So it's only on one side. And then when I get more of it built up, then I'll end up increasing it and joining it, but we're not there yet. So that was 22. Yeah. Let me get stitch marker. Believe it or not, I can actually see these stitches, so I don't really need the magnifying glass for this part. It's more for so you guys can see it. When I do the smaller hook, I definitely need.
Thanks for the follow.
Thank you for the follow, Zulieth. 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Those of you who were just joining, and I should be mentioning this, I have a Discord and a YouTube channel. The links will show up in the chat, and they are in the About section of the main page. Also, if you do the commands exclamation point Discord or exclamation point YouTube, those would be the links. Okay, I got to count that because I just totally lost track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That was 10. I got to go to 21 with this. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Come on, 20. And then I got to do the 21 right there. I gotta put a stitch marker at the beginning of each row. They will come in handy when I go to turn the heel. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come on, 8. Oh, I gotta redo 8. 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I'm getting narrower and narrower for the heel part. Give me my another stitch marker. One, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, and then number 19 is right here at the end. Turn. Get the first one. 2. Another stitch marker, and they're not stitch markers, they're paper clips. But these work great for me. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Starting to work. Get the first one. Put in 2 stitches. Let's get a stitch marker. Mark the beginning of our row. Come on. There we go. Hopefully y'all can see what I'm doing. Hopefully I'm not moving it around too much. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Believe it or not, I have not had to frog any of this. One and 2. That's a good thing. No. Hey there, Snoopy Skellington. I am making my very first pair of crocheted socks. Give me a second. Let me put this in. So I got to do 16 on this. I'm going to move the magnifying glass out of the way. I am making these socks. I just started. This is I didn't start. I started Thursday, Friday. It is a size 1 fingering weight yarn in 100% merino wool. It's got a little polyester. It's got a little sparkle to it. I don't know if you can see. You could probably see better on the cake. I am loving it. The toe and the heel are single crochet in a 4mm hook, and then the foot and the ankle are herringbone half doubles with a 3 1/4 inch hook, 3 1/4 mm hook. I did a mock-up of it the other week. I can't get to it right now. I used size 4 worsted weight cotton and much larger hooks, and it's much bigger, obviously, but just so I could get the idea of how it's constructed. I got it, and I have not frogged any of this, so I feel happy on that. So I have to do 16 here. See, each row for the way this works, and it might be better to show you on the back here. So you go all the way around X amount of however many stitches. You increase at the toe, and then this is all pretty much the same, and you increase a little bit. And then to do this, just on the back side, you do X amount of stitches, and then to do it, you go back and forth, you flip it back and forth, but you're only working on the back. And each row you do one stitch less. So I started with 25 stitches, and each row's got one less, and I'm going to get down to 12. When I get to that point, I'm going to try it on, because I've tried it on so far, it fits, but I'm going to try it on to see how it fits on to my heel. If it doesn't, I might have to do a couple extra rows of the 12. Hopefully that won't mess up the pattern too much. And then, once I get to the small point, then it's going to get wider again. But when I do that, when it gets wider, as I get each row to be one stitch longer, I'm going to join it to this diagonal row here, and it'll form the cup, and then eventually you keep going around and around, and it'll form the heel of it. So that is what we're working on. And the magnifying glass, you can really see the stitch structure and just the beautiful colors and the sparkle that's in this yarn. This is my other tag. Isn't around here right now. This is, we can really see. This is Yarn Bee brand. It's a Hobby Lobby line. Clay Miko got them when they were on sale. They were on sale for $4. They're originally $16. It's hand-dyed, and the colorway is called Southern Tropics. Oh, wow, now I can really see this. 420 yards, 100 grams, and it is a size 1 yarn. And it's, what does it say? Superwash merino wool and metallic polyester. I'm loving it. She got a bunch of them, and I think she said she tried working, and she couldn't handle it, the small stitches and the thin yarn. So she ended up giving it to me. And this is my first time making a sock. I've used thin yarn before, much thinner than this. I've used crochet cotton, but I've never made a sock before. And 11, 12, 13, 14. I should have 16, but let me count. Let me count my stitches here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15. Oh, okay, I have 16. Just recently crocheted an itty bitty teddy bear and then an amigurumi bee for my mom for Mother's Day. Teddy bear was my first time using a hook as small as 2.5 millimeter. The smallest I tend to use is a 3.75. Yeah, I've got a set of steel crochet hooks, which I don't remember the exact millimeters. They are super, super tiny. I think it's a set of like 5 or 6 of them. And they're small. They're smaller than a 2.5. I think they might be, the largest one I think is a 1 millimeter, and then the rest of them are all fractions of it. I can't use the smallest one. I could use like the 3 biggest of those. They're packed away, obviously, but years ago I had made some snowflake Christmas ornaments. I've got a book. It's like 99 crocheted snowflakes. Each one are different, and they're gorgeous. And you use crochet thread, and use these tiny hooks, and then you block them, and then I use spray starch, and then you stiffen them, and then you can hang them as ornaments. And I've got like not even a dozen. I don't know if I can do it again, but with magnifying glass, maybe I could. That might be something I'll, come Christmas time, I might attempt to do on stream again. We'll see. Or the holiday time. They're not specifically Christmas. They're snowflakes, so they could be anything for the holiday. Oh, we don't chain. 1, 2. I gotta put my stitch marker. So yeah, you made a tiny teddy bear and a bee. Do you have pictures of those? If you do, if you want, you can post them in the Discord. If you're not already a member, I do have a Discord. Five, 6, 7, 8, 10, 10. I'm gonna redo 10. 9 also. Snagged. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Sorry, I couldn't pay attention to the chat. If I was paid to do it, I'd work with a 2.5, but made my hands hurt, so I wouldn't do it for free. Yeah. If you aren't in Discord, the Discord can now be summoned. Yep. Thank you, lady, for summoning the Discord. The YouTube channel can be summoned also. And I have a lurk command if anybody decides to use the lurk command. So that was, what did I say? 15? Yeah, that was 15. I know if I'm on the back side of the sock, it's an odd number. The inside of the sock, it's an even number. So that was 15. We're going to go down to 12. I've got to put in my fancy dancy stitch markers. It's true. He does upload the whole stream to YouTube. So if you want to go back and find the part where he teaches the herringbone half double, it's going to be there. Exactly. Yes. I don't edit any of my streams. I don't know how to edit, and I don't think I would have the time or the patience how to edit. Yeah, I would show you now, but this part of the sock doesn't have the herringbone half double. That's what the body of the sock is. And with the herringbone half double, the inside, oh, that is so nice. The inside is so flat and smooth. And then the outside has got a little nubbly texture. The pattern I got it from, actually, I'll post the pattern here. I posted it in the Discord previously. That right there is the pattern for the sock I'm doing right now. They have it in all women's and men's sizes. They've got posted the bee and the bear. The bear is 6 inches tall. I'll check it out in a second. The pattern that I got this from, the pattern maker said that she's very sensitive to textures on socks for her feet, and this is one that's good because it's all smooth on the inside. It isn't nubbly, which a lot of crochet stitches, even both sides of it, can have a texture on the inside. So this one doesn't really have that. Let me go check the Discord. Go wave to you. Oh my goodness, that is so adorable. Oh, it's got a little stinger too. I'm assuming that's a stinger. Oh, the bear is so cute. Yeah, I don't think she's in here right now. She could be. Let's probably no. Clay Miko, who's usually in there, I think she had to leave early because she's got a flight tomorrow. A couple weeks ago, we were at a fiber festival. They were just selling stuff. They weren't really doing demonstrations. And she bought her 2-year-old daughter a knitted bee that looked a lot like that. And I don't know if that one had a stinger or not, but the stinger's cute. Okay. That's 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wait a minute. Why am I getting 13? I should not have 13. Hey, there's Citric for blue. Let me count my stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14. Oh, there's 14. Okay. I didn't count my first stitch. Let me get my stitch marker. Citric for Blue, I am working on the heel right now, the beginning part of the heel. And I got this row on one more row, and then I'm going to stop this project for tonight. That was 3, 4, because I'll have to try it on, and I can't try it on here in the chair where I'm sitting at. I'll have to see if it'll fit. If not, I'll have to make a little bit of an adjustment to the pattern. So far, everything, it fits on my foot. The rest of it does. I wasn't counting that, but let's count now. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, there is one more stitch there. 13. And we are going to be going to an ad. And when is it going to start? And I'm back. Thank you, everybody, for sitting through those ads. I know it could be a pain, but they do help me. So I've done the toe, the foot, and I started the heel. I'm going to have to try this on. Hopefully this, because this is pretty much the midpoint of the heel. It's where it gets narrow, and then the next point I'm going to get larger, and as I get larger, it's going to join to these the sides here, and it will cup up. It'll go like in this formation. So I'll have to try it on to see how it will fit. If not, then I might have to do a little adjustment. But need all those stitch markers there because that's going to tell me where to put the hook when I join. When I do the next however many rows. And then after you do that, then it's back to just going around in a circle with the herringbone half double until you get the length you want, and then you do the ribbing. So it's halfway done, I want to say. And then I got to make one identical to it, so I have a pair. But I'm loving it. Very much loving it. And I like the sparkle. All right. Okay, so I'm going to put that to the side. Yeah, sparkle. I know what I'm going to do. Since we were talking about the herringbone half double, let me get my cotton yarn here. And I'm going to show how to do it because I had never done it before this sock pattern. Because my test that I did in the worsted weight yarn, my big giant sock, I misread the pattern, and where I was supposed to do the herringbone half double, I did the regular half double. It still worked out. It's just it didn't have the texture, which is fine. Again, the point of doing the larger version of it was just to get an idea of how it was constructed. So I will show how to do the herringbone half double in some larger yarn. And let me just wind up this ball real quick. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it. It's more of a textural thing. You might be able to see a little bit of it. All right. So we're going to put the magnifying glass back so we can see the stitch, because it definitely helps my zoom. Let me get some slack out of here, even though it makes me look like a demon with this lighting. Okay, I'm just going to do a chain. $11 chains, and then I'm going to do a single crochet into every chain starting in the second chain from the hook. So I'm going to have 10 singles. I'm going to try to hold this so you can see what I'm doing. It's kind of difficult because the work likes to flop around a little. Okay, so we got our 10 singles, and let me zoom out a little bit. That, nope. So I'm going to chain 2 because we're doing half doubles. We're going to flip our work. This is how you do a herringbone half double. I'm going to try to stay centered in camera. We're going to wrap our hook like a double, go in. So wrap the hook, go in, pull up a strand, 3 on the hook. We're not going to yarn over right now. We're going to take that first strand, that first loop that we drew up through our stitch, we're going to pull that loop through the next loop. So it's kind of like a slip stitch. So again, we're going to wrap, go in, bring up a loop, that first loop we just brought up, slip it through the next loop on the hook, 2 on the hook, yarn over through 2. That's the herringbone half double. Let's try it again. So we're going to yarn over, go into the stitch, draw up a loop, 3 on the hook. The one we drew up, we're going to draw that one through the next loop, 2 on the hook, then yarn over through the 2. Again, 3 on the hook, we yarned over, drew up a loop, 3 on the hook, that last one that we just drew up, bring it through the next loop, and now yarn over through 2. That is the herringbone half double. And I'm going to do the whole row of this. I wanted to do a regular half double. I'm in my last stitch, 3 on the hook, take that first, the loop we just drew up, go in through the next loop, and I'll yarn over through 2. So you've got a slightly different stitch. That the stitches, when you do that, it makes a raised little bump here, but our post of our stitches are slightly angled. Guess that's why they call it herringbone. We'd have to do this very slowly. I feel like I forget what I was doing. Yep, I'm the same way. I'm automatically doing a half double. I want to do the yarn over, pull through 3. That's just an automatic, because half double is one of my favorite stitches. Yeah, this took me a while to figure out. So but this is a one-sided stitch. So that's what the front side looks like. The back side it's smooth, it's flat. And it's not showing up on camera of how flat and smooth it is. It's very flat. The front side has the texture. So if you're going to do a flat panel, like a square or a blanket or whatever, and you wanted the texture only on one side, every other row would have to have that. So let's say the next row I would do regular. Actually, the next row I'd probably do singles. And then the following row, do these. Because if I do the herringbone half double on the next row, when we flip it, we're going to get the texture on the opposite side. You're going to get it on both sides. So it is a one-sided stitch. So I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to do a row of singles, because I want to keep the texture on the front. So technically, this is the back side of the work. And that's what this sock is. The sock pattern, it's singles for the toe and the heel, and then the foot and the ankle / leg are the herringbone half doubles. So come to the end of the row, chain 2 and turn, and now we're going to do the herringbone half double again. So we've wrapped, go in, bring up a loop, 3 on the hook, take that first loop and pull it through the second loop, and then yarn over through 2. That little motion of pulling that first loop through the second loop creates this little, that right there is the second loop right here that we went through. So we pulled the first loop through the second, and then when we finish it, that finishes the stitch. But that pulling through that second loop here creates that little bump, creates that texture. And I almost yarned over into the regular half double, which I don't see why you couldn't mix them if you wanted. you would have certain areas that were textured. It turns out pretty, yes. It turns out very pretty. I'm going to do a few more rows. Okay, I'm going to chain one, and then this row I'm just going to do singles, because this is the quote-unquote wrong side. So I'm going to do a quick row of singles. And I'm going to do another row of the herringbone half double. I'll show you that again if we didn't catch it. Wrap it, go into the hook, into the stitch, bring up a loop. Take that first strand through the second loop, yarn over through two. So it's just a little variation on the good old half double. Yeah, and I'm trying to, this is my first time using this magnifying glass on stream, so I'm trying to keep my hands in one spot, because even if I move it over an inch or two, you won't see it. Good night, Crojo. Okay. So that right there is our, we did a row singles, then herringbone half double, and we alternated. So I'm going to move this out of the way. I'll zoom in there. So that's the front side. You can kind of see the texture now. And then the back side, it's very flat and plain. It's very smooth. But you can, yeah, you can definitely see the texture. It's just the slightest texture that's in there. I really like the stitch. Again, I had never tried it before until I came across the sock pattern. I have never done it, but there is a herringbone double crochet, which, if I remember correctly, I'm going to chain 3, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over through that, yarn over, and then pull the yarn over through 1, and then yarn over through 2. I think that's the herringbone double. Again, don't quote me on this. I'd have to do some more research. I was traveling most of the day. My body is telling me I should go lay in bed. I'll leave you up to lurk on my laptop. I'm going to get over there, but I absolutely need to go rest. No, that's fine. I'm going to be probably ending the stream here soon anyway. It's almost 10 o'clock. I've been on for almost 3 hours now. So that's fine. I'm just testing out the stitch from memory. But you have a good rest, and I will chat with you next time. I will be on Tuesday. Tuesday night, we're doing front post crochet and back post crochet. So wrap, go in, 3 on the hook, bring the first one through, yarn over, bring that one through 1, and then yarn over. I think that's the herringbone double. If not, we're making something new then. When I get done this row, I will see what it looks like and if it's got a texture. if I can do the stitch. That, 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 and that. Okay. Oh, it definitely has a texture. And I don't know if you could see this row here. My double crochet stitches are angled. They are definitely in a herringbone pattern. They do get tilted. I think that's how you do it. And there is a definite texture there. Cool. Well, I think we're going to leave that here for tonight. Got a lot done. I got some work on the temperature blanket. Worked on the sock. I will be on again Tuesday at 8 Eastern. And again, we're doing front post and back post. Let's see. Good night, Grammy. Let me see. Oh, I hit the wrong button there. Okay. Everybody have a good evening. Again, we'll chat with you on Tuesday.